Hey y'all, hey, I am Allure Mystik, and I wanted to just not come on because this is the audio, but really quickly. And I know I say that a lot, and then sometimes it still ends up being longer than I expected. And the reason I say this is I'm not really a naturally talkative person, to be honest. But what happens is I start kind of talking or teaching or whatever, guiding, and then downloads come in and messages, and so I keep going. But I wanted and I'm not doing a video, even though I am, making a conscious effort to go forward with more videos. But because, this last week or so has just been a lot. I'm going to be transparent. This is about me being authentic with you guys as well. As much as I share, here, I'm also ascending and evolving and going through my own process. And so there has been just a lot happening in my own personal evolution and reawakening and all that great stuff over these last few weeks that kind of had me like, woo, child. But so today, I just decided that, and I've had video sessions all week. So today in particular, I was like, okay, I have a few things to do business wise, but I do not have to leave my house or I do not have to be dressed, and I'm not doing it. So for today, I am kind of rocking it out bare. You know what I'm saying? Hair is kind of pulled up, and it's not even about having to come on and be present with you guys fully did up, but just the fact that I was not putting on no clothes today. I'm just being honest. And so, yeah. And if I could, I would be outside, but I don't have a fence. So look, I have some things to work on for manifesting that, because I would be outside right now, bare or almost there. But instead I have my little magical, enchanted, whatever music playing in the background to give me those kind of fairy bird outside vibes while I'm sitting here doing some different things, from meditation to visualization, etc. But okay. So the reason why I'm coming on is because there's so much going on right now, and I'm not going to get into all of that because that would be so long, and this is not that day, right? For me, like I said, this is my love on me day, my pampering day, my day. And so I'm sucking in all this Venus energy. I have this class later this evening, which if you haven't, this is me doing some plugs actually. If you don't follow Shara Prophet, she's on here, as well as Open Door Hypnosis. She's amazing. Her hypnotherapy sessions or hypnosis sessions are really they're really deep. She's been doing it for a really long time, and I've gotten trained and certified as well, and I'm continuing my studies too, not by her, but I also work with her. And I said it to say that me being a clinician, I also do work with her, and she has a womb healing class this evening, which is also going to include a hypnosis aspect to that. So I'm doing that later. So that's why for me today, I'm like, yep, I'm doing this. I think I'm going to find me a nice little movie or something to watch, which I barely watch TV, so I'm going to do that, although I think it's going to be like a Disney movie. And so tonight I'm taking me a nice bath. I'm doing my womb healing class with my hypnosis, and it's all about that. I also Spirit Knows Best, which is not on YouTube, but her website is just that, Spirit Knows Best. I'm utilizing today her Jupiter Enchanted and Venus Illuminated Mist and Oil. So I have that going. I have in my diffuser her products. I have Fulfillment from Magical Mystik, which is MAGICKAL, mystik.com. I have my Enchanted Love and my Sentiments of Serenity. Also my diffuser as well. So I'm just setting a whole vibe and atmosphere over here today, okay? And it's another one I have going too. I don't know which other one I put in there. That's one of my products, but yes. So needless to say, those are some plugs for some amazing even though I make products and sell products of also others who I support, and have great testimonies with their work as well. Now, to the content. So I'm coming in because, with everything that's going on from the pandemic, not getting into the details about that, also with some other things that's happening right now, right? In the world, in the States or America, whatever, you guys can discern. If you pop on social media, you know what's going on. And so I was talking to some clients this week. A couple things came up. One, as states are beginning to reopen, of course, some people were impacted differently than others. Some are starting to return back to work and these different things. And there's some anxieties regarding that and concerns and worries. And something that came up that I saw quite a bit was, the topic of the vaccination, which I'm not giving any guidance or advice on to get vaccinated or not or anything regarding that. This is not what this is about. Let's just clarify that disclaimer. But what they were saying from a few different people were their job is making that a requirement if they to return back to work, right? So the reason why that spoke to me was not even so much about that, but because of what followed up from that was, well, I don't have a choice. That was kind of what I kept getting from people this week was like, well, if they have this vaccination, I have these concerns, but my job is saying in order to return back to work, we have to be vaccinated and I don't have a choice. And anytime I hear that I don't have a choice, I instantly, like, my little spidey senses goes off, because that is one of those sayings that I just don't vibe with. And so I wanted to talk about that because I'm always going to come back and say we always have choices. Listen to and understand what I'm saying. You cannot in one breath say I am sovereign, I am divine, and then in the same breath or your next breath say I don't have a choice. Where do you not, like, the disconnection there and the vibration that emits? That is not goddess speak. That's not godhood, godship, right? We are accountable and responsible for what we deliver into, what we speak into, what we allow into our lives, our vibrations, to be intentional, to be purposeful, right? And we are accountable. And so I hear that so much. And so the thing about that is, and I kind of got some pushback when I was talking to a client about it. And it's like, that's fine. I could deal with the pushback. We're going to go through this because there's certain sayings and certain things that have been programmed into us that is very subtle, very tricky, very manipulative, but push you into a mentality and a vibration of victimhood where you are self-victimizing. And I don't support that in no fashion, shape, or form. You know what I mean? Like, ditching the victim is like essential to healing, to thriving, to ascending, to evolving, whatever you want to call that for your journey. And so I just wanted to make this just really stress, be very mindful and conscious of what you are speaking over and into your lives, because your word is the final declaration. It is a decree. It is what it is. You are the one that has that authority. It does not matter if you are in a religious system, whatever tradition you're in. The universe is the universe as the universe, okay? So how the universe flows, operates, and goes is happening regardless of our own little personal judgments or our personal preferences or our belief systems. And so that's what that is. And so again, even whether you're conscious to it or not, that's what's happening. But we're talking about people who are saying that they're on this path. I'm not speaking even to those who are not anywhere, any way in a space of consciousness, right? Because the clients that I'm working with personally, that's how I address, that's how I work with clients. And so we're specifically talking about people who claim to be very magical, who are sovereign, who divine, who identify as gods and goddesses, but then very quickly, when they're challenged or, and looking at not intentional, not being purposeful, can very subtly slip into this vibration of victimhood. And being a victim, that is one of the hardest things and challenges actually that I see when I'm working with clients, to actually transmute and to repurpose that energy into beneficial energy. But I'm not going to go into that right now. I just wanted to come on and to say that because there's always a choice. So let me give this example just to kind of say, so what that client was saying, or clients, because it was more than one, was like, okay, so the choice, my options are this, right? Either I take the vaccination and I can return to work, or if I don't, I potentially risk losing my job. So my thing with that is, look, we don't always have choices that feel the most ideal to us, right? Or that are the most ideal, or, what we would choose primarily for ourselves. But we do not control other people, right? Well, hey, listen, depending on how deep you are in your magic, there's some things that can work, but we ain't talking about that today. So, okay. But, so with that said, Mike, okay, well, those are two options. So if you've given me two options right there, then how can you say you don't have a choice? Because there is a choice in that. You can say that I do have these concerns and this worry. And so with that, I choose to not go with blah, 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 right? Which I'm not giving that advice. I'm just saying. And what can or may or will happen from that is I am no longer employed with that employer. Okay. But you've still chosen that for yourself. And so that you can make a decision. So what is next? Is it looking for other employment? Is it, starting a business? Is it doing, what does that look like for you? Or it could be the opposite and say, I am choosing right now to get blah, blah, blah. I'm being careful with my words, and maintaining my present employment because that is the most beneficial thing for me at my present time in my life and whatever you have going on, whatever, right? Again, those are still choices. You make a choice, but it's something to take an accountability for those choices. And whatever choice you make, there's going to be a consequence. And the consequence is not necessarily a low vibrational or non-beneficial energy or thing. Consequence just basically says, you don't have, one thing causes another. It's like the law of cause and effect, right? So, but again, we are accountable. And so I just wanted to just drop in to say that really quick. We have to to encourage you guys to be very mindful. This is not saying I'm perfect at this, but I'm very aware, and I check myself very much so about the things that I'm speaking and saying over my life and into my life. And, because I do declare my sovereignty, and that's a process and a journey for me as far as what that looks like. But that's the one thing that I say every day, that I declare that I am sovereign. You know what I mean? That I am divine. I know the goddess that I am, and I'm going to continue to embody and walk in that shit, period. And so what that means is there is no victim, period. I will never, I don't believe in being victimized. You know what I mean? I refuse. I do not accept that into my life. So with that means I'm accountable for every fucking thing that I give power to, that I give authority to, that I allow to flow and be within my life. I'm not saying I'm responsible for other people's behaviors and actions, but I am responsible for me and my life. And I just wanted to make sure to say that, because that's been coming. That was just something I'm seeing going around. And even with some of the other things that are happening, because I was speaking to some people who are also saying they're tired of being black in America. They're exhausted from being black, just these kind of things. And I'm not getting into all that, but I use it as another example to say, again, you have to be purposeful and be mindful with the words and the things that you are, right? And fall into agreement with. If you, for whatever reason, have chosen to take up a body in this time as a melanated person, and when I say melanin, I'm talking about black. I don't want to get into the whole, this race has melanin too, etc. We know there's different types of melanin. Melanin ain't all created equal, so to speak. You know what I mean? Some people have more than others, whatever. Okay, melanated, aka black. Okay, so what that means is, you've chosen that for whatever purpose, whatever reason. And so that is not the sole identifier of who you are, but it's a part of who you are, right? In this lifetime, in this experience. And so with that, do you understand, to actually say you're tired of that, that you are exhausted from a part of your being, the vibration that it also sends and allows and welcomes into your aura, into your energetic space, into your life. And so I just, can say again, what we speak and what we say and what we agree to and give power to, that's it. We are the ones, all these are the mantras, the affirmations, the declarations, that we are speaking into and that we are declaring for our lives. And so it's just, again, to just reiterate, to be very, very aware. And if you don't catch it in a moment, you can come back, you can transmute and cancel agreements at any given time, cut them cords, cancel that shit, call your energy back. We're not perfect. It's not about that, but part of being Yeah, so I don't know exactly what happened. Well, I kind of do. I think it paused and so I'm back, but I think I was about to say some shit. Maybe. So I'm going to use that as my cue that it's time to wrap this on up for this particular audio and move forward. So what I am going to go back and continue to just say is, again, the purpose of this is to just remind you and to assist you with connecting those dots and aligning with what it means to be sovereign and to be conscious and aware of the thoughts, the feelings, the things that we agree to, align to, that we call forth within our lives. I will probably do something talking a little bit about what sovereignty really represents and divinity, but generally, sovereignty is what? Like supreme power and authority, or supreme power or authority. That's a general definition of that. And so when we are claiming, to be sovereign, when I speak that, when I say that's who and what I am saying I am the supreme and ultimate authority and power in my life. There is nothing else that supersedes me. Period. And so if there's nothing else that supersedes me, there is no way that I cannot have a choice. There's no way that I'm not accountable. And so what I do notice a lot of times, people say sovereignty and they throw these words around, but don't really grasp what that really means and not really taking steps towards that. And it's not always intentional, right? And so that's the reason why I wanted to do this, just to say, because a lot of this stuff is so programmed into us and so embedded in. And the reality of it is, a lot of people are walking around in a highly suggestible state, which means that you're constantly being hypnotized, so to speak, constantly and inundated every day, all day, due to not being aware, being still, and being conscious, and being able to kind of go navigate that space. If I've talked to you guys before about your subconscious as well, right? And so a lot of this is programmed, but there's so many subtle ways for that vibration of powerlessness, of victimhood, which also leads down this whole black whole rabbit hole, and unleashes a whole vibration into your existence, into your reality, into your life, into your being. And the universe is going to match that. As I said, that's what the universe does. It doesn't operate in no's. It's what the vibration that you're putting out is what is matched. And so our words, our thoughts, our feelings, all of those are vibrations. At the core, everything is energy. And so everything has a vibration to it. And these are the things that are declarations. Like I say, they're decrees, they're spells, they're mantras, they're affirmations, those that over our lives, into our lives. And so I just wanted to make sure that I just touched on that just during this time, especially with everything that's going on, to kind of encourage you guys to be very aware. Like I said, if you do find yourself where, hey, you start to sit with your thoughts, you're sitting with these emotions, you do not like what's coming up or what you've said because it's non-beneficial, it's not in alignment with your highest self, your highest and greatest good, always know that as, again, the divine supreme authority over your universe, right? Y-O-U, like over your life, you have the ability to transmute that, to repurpose that into beneficial energy, to cancel those agreements, to call back your energy, to walk and truly fully embody your power as the sovereign divine being and essence that you are. And so on that note, I'm going to stop, and everyone go, and I hope you guys have a very purposed, intentional, filled day. Until next time, bye.